What's going down, people? It's your boy Myer Krah back again. I don't even know what episode I'm on. I'm just having fun because I'm enjoying having a good brother of mine back. I haven't seen him in a good little minute now. COVID did some things, and it got hard to see my brother. But we got extremely acclimated with each other while we're in the military at the Naval Academy playing football. I'm not even going to give him his intro. I want you to hear it straight from his mouth. Drake, what's going on, baby? How you doing?
What up, Myer? How you doing? I'm good. I'm excited to be here. I'm nervous.
You shouldn't be, man. I'm about to say, if anything, you probably be the last person I would expect to be nervous. I get like that all the time. But tell the people what you've been up to, man. What do you do now?
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Jordan Drake. I'm a full-time actor, stay-at-home dad, writer, creative, whatever you want to throw in that. Put a little hyphenates in there. Living out in San Diego. Married. My wife's a vice principal at a charter school. And my daughter's 2 years old. And that's about it. There's more, but that's about it right now. So
I was about to say, there's always more, man.
There's always more.
If I tried to list every single thing that we actually got going on, it'd be impossible. But you're a little bit of everything, bro. You're like an extremely seasoned football player. You got a book. Like, you've done a lot. Can you tell me about what it's been like transitioning from one out of football and then into the military, and then making that transition out of the military into what you're doing now? What's that been like?
Yeah, it's been really huge. It's been really significant to realize how big of a part football was, and then how big of a part like the academy and the military was like on my personality, on my habits. And it's like I'm at this point now where it kind of coincided well with the strike. You know, we just, actors SAG after we were on strike, and we just got out of the strike. And I had been like, I call it my rebuilding year, because I've been in therapy and really trying to figure out what parts of me are the parts that I love, and what parts of me need a little bit of changing, rearranging to be good as an actor, to be good as a father consistently. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's tough to reflect on yourself and realize like, hey, I don't have to work out 6 times a week, because actors don't got to be big and swole. You got to be able to, you know what I'm saying? You got to be adaptable and know how to break down scripts and stuff like that. Or, my routine doesn't have to be so rigid as a father, like the military, because, you got to be adaptable and change. And it's just realizing like the way your first 30 or so years that you lived, it's not going to work for the next 30 or so. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So tell me, what strengths did you pull from your past career into what you're doing now? What helped you the most?
Being organized, being tactful. For actors, like, you realize, like, I go on set and you realize like, man, they be complaining. They be like, all right, you guys are gonna sit here. One thing that translates is hurry up and wait. It's hurry up and wait in the military, and it's hurry up and wait on set in acting in the industry. Because it's like, I'm gonna have a call time at 6:30 a.m., but we ain't filming until 11:30, and I'm just like sitting there. Yeah.
Oh no.
So you gotta like keep yourself in the. Say what?
How do you even keep the energy for that? I think you're about to answer the question. Like, I can't even. I'd be bored.
Yeah, no, it's Coach Grantham, our outside linebackers coach. He used to tell me, if you're getting in a fight, somebody says, "Hey, we're trying to fight at 3 p.m. and it's 8 o'clock in the morning." You're not gonna hold your fist. You're not gonna clench your fist throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Visualizing how you're gonna do this or do that, react. And by the time 2:58 comes, you're gonna start clenching your fist. And 3 o'clock, you're gonna be ready to, fight. And now it's for football. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but the concept still reigns true when it comes to acting. It's like, you don't realize, and I'm realizing this now, like with breaking down scripts and whatnot, it's like the preparation, even for a 2-minute audition, has to be, you know what I'm saying, real far in advance. Like, breaking down my character, breaking down the script, breaking down so much stuff so I can really like understand the feeling of that person in that scene or in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So that time is what you make it. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough to hold that patience and to hold that thought and that feeling. But if you use it right and you be patient enough, it'll come out perfect. It'll come out
Yeah.
how it's supposed to come out. And perfection might not be it, but it'll come out how it's supposed to come out. Yeah.
There we go. That's not bad at all, bro. Like I
Yeah.
think I've always wanted to try acting when I was younger. Like I'm talking
Hmm.
about like maybe in like middle school, high school, just because it seemed fun to be able to get
Uh-huh.
into the character of somebody else. But when I look back and see how much work it really takes to even get into character, I think I'm cool with just doing the military and the dad thing or whatever,
Yeah.
at least right now.
Yeah.
But for me,
Yeah.
I see how passionate you are about acting. I seen how passionate you were in football. Of course, I didn't get a chance to see you during your military phase because you were all the way on the West
Hmm.
Coast and I've been over here. But something else
Hmm.
that I've been seeing your love for is your baby girl, like your 2-year-old baby
Yeah.
girl, and your passion for just being a father. Can you tell me what
Hmm.
that journey has been like for
It's been a journey for sure. Like it encompasses the whole word of journey because, like I said, it's been really like you want to give them the life that you didn't have, but you also want to give them the wisdom that you do have from the life that you got. You know what I'm saying?
you? Mhm.
It's like all the traumas and all the obstacles and all the stuff you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't be the man I was today if it wasn't for those those lows and those the tough times. So it's like I want to partake. I want to give that to her, but I also like I'm not trying to traumatize the girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
I
like
got you.
it's like this constant balance of like of spoiling and loving and cuddling, and then it's like, all right, now I'm counting to three type. I mean,
Yep,
it's
yep.
like
Oh, I know.
so it's like for me, it's been tough because I really had to realize like this this habit of mine isn't conducive to her learning. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a morning
Yeah.
grumpy in the morning. And I realized like she was getting grumpy in the morning. I'm like, what the hell you grumpy for? And then I realized like, oh, I'm grumpy. So then I
Mm,
started like waking up and you know what I'm saying? So it's been my favorite part of it is just like watching her learn. She's so smart, you know what I'm saying? And watching her figure stuff out and then watching her like take pieces of my personality and Steph's personality and just kind of like mold it into her own. Um, yeah, I love every bit about it, man. It's
that's
fatherhood
good, man.
is, and anybody that asks me about fatherhood, I say it'll make you better. It'll really,
No,
really make you better.
it definitely will. And show the people
Yeah.
your shirt too. I saw right before we
Oh
got
yeah.
started. Show the people your shirt, man.
Dad
Yeah, that's
swag.
that dad swag. For sure, dog.
Yeah.
I love
Old
that.
Navy, but
Old Navy's lit, bro.
they ain't,
Like
I'm not sponsored. I ain't sponsored by them, so.
I think this can. Yeah, I should probably shouldn't say I ain't sponsored, bro. I think the shirt probably. That's the only two places I go to now. Like as a dad, they be having the great good stuff. Old Navy and Target, bro. They hold it down,
Yeah,
dog. They
yeah.
definitely hold it.
I
But
just go
something
to
you
I go
said.
to the huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I go to the to the Las Americas right next to the border.
Oh, bro, we ain't
What
got
is it
that though.
called? The discount mall down there.
Oh yeah, we ain't
And
got
I'm
that. We got
like,
flea market though.
yeah, yeah, couple flea market. Y'all got military discount? That's what the first thing I ask.
Yes, bro. Every single time. I even keep a picture on my phone just in case. But it was
Yeah.
something that you said though, talking about past traumas and
Hmm.
using the way that we grew up to kind of form and model the way that we're raising our kids, even if it's
Hmm.
like, taking out the bad and adding some of the good. But
Hmm.
there's a part of us that's like, I know this is what built me, but I
Hmm.
know this isn't good. Like I got
Hmm.
good from it, and it's not good, right? And we're
Hmm.
trying to figure out a way to translate it. But before we kind of get into like the translation part, could you open up to us a little bit about what it was like for you and Steph? Of course, you guys live separately, but just like your
Hmm.
upbringing or maybe your relationships you have with your parents that you're now trying to fold and mold together to raise them.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good question. Deep answer. Good question.
Mm,
Me and Steph kind of grew up the same. We kind of come from rough upbringings. Like her parents were, physical and, kind of rough and stuff like that. And then I grew up single mom, my mom had me young. I think she had me at like 16. She did that nightlife thing, if you know what I'm saying. And so both of us kind of like left home and moved with like friends' family, lived with friends' families and stuff like that at a young age. Like I think Steph left home when she was like 12, 13, and I left when I was like 15, 14, 15, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just kind of figuring it out independently on our own, and I know me physically, or I know me, my mom was strict, super strict. My last whooping I got when I was like 22, I think. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right,
He's
all
like,
right, all right,
like my mom bigger
you
than you.
can't be
Like what?
whooping me no more. Yeah. I just came back from, I think it was sophomore year. I had just came back from college and she
Mm.
whooped me. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go get some sandwiches or something. I'm going to Zaxby's or something because
Yeah.
this ain't going
She
to
was
happen.
strict like that.
She was strict. And it wasn't until now where I'm like, I always say like my mom had the right intent, the right idea, poor execution.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and Steph's family, they were a little tumultuous or, rough or volatile. And, but they spoiled her with certain things and, they had some knowledge here and there. So, it's like taking those pieces, you know what I'm saying? And realizing like, hey, the screaming, the inconsistencies, the whooping with a switch, a cord, a hanger, vacuum, all that stuff, it ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's just too far. So that's like both of our lives. And then now we come together, me and Steph, and we were both raised similar and kind of have similar like traumas and triggers and stuff. So we're starting now to really realize like, oh, that's a trigger for me. And to communicate it with one another, like, hey, that kind of triggers me. That reminds me of when my mom used to do this, or she's like, oh, that reminds me when my dad used to do this. And then we kind of like, we work together on not doing it, you know what I'm saying? And figuring out a compromise or a way to get past it.
Where do you
So,
guys
like, for
feel
example,
triggered the most? I was about to say, I think you're about to answer the question already. Give me the example. That's
yeah,
what I want to hear.
yeah, yeah. So it's like, it's little stuff like, for instance, trash day, Wednesday morning, right? I have an alarm set to take the trash out, Tuesday night, because in Steph's household, when the trash wasn't taken out, her dad was freaking out. You know, can I cuss on here? I heard folks cuss
Yeah.
before.
He said,
He's like,
cussing,
the
nigga,
fucking
all that.
trash isn't taken out. You know what I'm saying? Like, just freaking out. And it's like, that's traumatic as a child. You know what I'm saying? For me, like I don't like being like slapped in the face or anything with my face. Like my mom used to just like talk back right to the
Yeah.
face. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like that. So I'm like, don't slap me in
Yeah.
the face, even if it's playing. So
Yeah.
the communication, like knowing like, oh, I didn't know she used to do that. You know what I'm saying? So those are like some instances. Yeah.
No, that's super good because I think there's some things we don't even know we're triggered by until it happens.
Mm-hmm.
A
Mm-hmm.
lot of the times, I mean, I'm trying to think of an example, and it was something we dealt with a couple months ago. And I don't even remember what it was, but it was just something that my wife said to me. And I didn't even realize, like, it triggered me, and I just
Mm-hmm.
like wouldn't talk to her for the rest of the day. Like, it made
Mm-hmm.
me feel some type of way, and I couldn't dig into why it was even such a big deal. But it was something that
Mm-hmm.
my mom had said, or the way that
Mm-hmm.
my parents had treated me in regards to whatever situation it was. That now it's
Mm-hmm.
like I either have to figure out what it is, deal with it, and talk to my wife about it, or I could just keep it inside myself and just hope that it doesn't happen. The issue
Mm-hmm.
is when you're that passive and it starts building some type of tension in the relationship, it's either
Mm-hmm.
gonna bleed out between you two or it's gonna bleed into your
Mm-hmm.
child. And that's something
Yeah,
you definitely don't wanna do. And even when
for
our
sure.
children are young, they still get that effect. Like you're talking about being an early morning person and you're just grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
She too, and
Mm-hmm.
she's waking up like that because they're learning everything. And that's just
They learning it.
kind of
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of how things are. Are you
Mm-hmm.
learning from the position that your wife is in right now? like working? Because I know me and my wife, we follow both of
Man.
y'all. We get to hear sometimes of the stories and stuff like that.
Uh,
Um, talk to me about that.
yeah, man, you wouldn't even imagine. Just to answer the other thing about the learning and the kids, real
Mhm.
quick. What I realized, what my therapist told me is, one, as men, we're taught, if you got feelings, push them aside. You need to hustle.
Yeah.
You need to grind. You need to provide. You're a man, right? And me growing up without my father, I think my mom, in her mind, she was like, I need to be double that as a woman so he understands how to be a man. So I think, growing up, I didn't realize like sometimes I need to take a breath, be mindful, and realize like I'm feeling this way and this is why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Eleanor is like, our kids are learning like how to understand how to recognize their feelings, understand it, and know like I have these three options or these options to do in reaction to my feelings. So I think that the feelings part is a huge obstacle for me. But s- learning from Steph, that's huge because she's the vice principal at a charter school, and this charter school is like they're ranked like 10th in the nation for what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Golly.
Like they're in the Lemon Grove area, so it's a lot of black and brown kids. These kids, it's like an academy. Like they wear uniforms. The academics are high, but the some of their top kids go to MIT. Some of
Wow.
another portion, like I don't 70-80% of them, they're reading on a second grade reading level. So the
Wow.
disparity in like the intelligence or just the opportunity for growth or learning is crazy.
Hmm.
And it's crazy to hear the stories about some of the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the kids and what they're dealing with. They're crossing the border every day to come to school, or
Wow.
their parents just died and they're raising their siblings. Man, it's humbling to hear what some of these kids are going through. It really is.
Man, I think
But
when you start putting stuff in perspective like that, it
yeah,
changes your heart
yeah.
and your mind.
hmm You start realizing like, because I was reading Viola Davis's book, and if you ever read, I think
Oh,
it's,
now, yeah, I love her though.
man, it's if you any I feel like so many people should read her book, but if you've had childhood trauma, she'll make you feel better because
Mm.
Viola went through it, but she
Ooh,
put a
I
lot of
agree.
things into perspective. And that's like you said, she mentioned she went to a camp and she met other kids with traumatic pasts, and it really put hers into perspective. Like, oh, okay, it could be worse, it could be better, da 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 da. But it's like it's her experience, so
Yeah.
it's the same thing with those kids. It's like, man, like they have these opportunities now that we didn't, but it's still they're still going through it or not. It really does put it into perspective.
There was something you said that it's still ringing in my head, and I gotta go back. I know we went to another question,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it brought up this idea of how it perceived fatherhood. So you
hmm
mentioned that your mom being a single mother, just kind of trying to do both roles, she felt as if she needed to double
hmm
down, double herself, maybe do things twice as hard or whatever it was. She felt like she either had a double. For some people, it's I need to spoil them that much more. I need to
hmm
be this more protective. I need to, um, I don't know, discipline them this
hmm
much more. And I think sometimes when we have the perception of fatherhood or lack the perception of what fatherhood really is, that's the first thing that
hmm
comes to mind is I have to do both of them together and like multiply it by two.
hmm
When in all actuality, fatherhood is just completely different. And
hmm
maybe we don't talk about it enough, so people don't understand what it is. Maybe even us as men don't really understand it even until we get into the role. That's why we have
hmm
podcasts like this to talk about it. Um, and even you mentioned like she had the right idea, it's just that the execution was poor.
hmm
And of course, you may not be. I'm not gonna say you're the spokesperson of all kids who may have grown up
Yeah.
with a single mother, but could you
Yeah.
maybe tell me maybe some of the things that you hoped could have either been a little bit better, or maybe speak
hmm
to some of the single moms? Because we do have single moms who listen to this podcast as well.
hmm
Um, just a perception of like how they can either change things or what they should be doing. And I know this is a hard, long question that I'm asking,
Yeah, that's
but
tough.
just meet me halfway if you can.
Yeah, that's tough. I'll preface it by saying my mom is incredible. Incredible to know what she did with what she had and how she raised me to get to this point. Incredible. And I've only recently realized how difficult that must have been until now.
Yeah,
So I preface it with that. But like single parenting, man, it's so hard because the one word that I would say is most important to me as a father, as a husband, just as a man is balance. Like just
yeah,
being balanced. And what I've realized even recently, in therapy is my therapist was like, has Eleanor ever seen you cry or be vulnerable? And I was like, no, she's only ever seen me happy,
mhm,
like frustrated, like teaching or in like a, in a directing mode. She's never seen
yeah.
me, cry or be vulnerable. And she was like, do you think that's healthy? And I was like,
Ooh,
I started crying because I
yeah,
was like,
uh,
it's not like she has to know that, you know, her partner or herself, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to break down. It's okay to, because you have to know how to stand up from that. She's going to have to know, you know what I'm saying, how to get better or how to, it's healthy to be hurt at some points.
yeah,
So I guess for the single mom thing, it's tough to answer because it's every situation is different.
yeah.
Every situation is different and everybody's going through hard times and it's hard. Hey,
Hey,
life hard.
hey,
Life hard,
it ain't
dog. Hey,
no joke, dog.
man. Escrow,
Mm,
property tax,
uh,
man, gas? What was we talking about?
bruh.
Gas?
So many random things that I've just learned about, like after just becoming an adult. I'm like, you got to pay for
Man.
postage. I didn't even know you
Yeah,
got.
I'm like,
I was like, property
yeah,
tax. What? I got the house. I'm already paying
I
somebody
own
for it.
this.
I'm saying that I own it, but I really don't own it. And then you got to take more money from me, even when I do pay it
Yeah,
off. I still got to pay property tax. I
yeah.
don't
Who
understand.
is
Is it
HOA? I gotta find out.
bro? When I find out who HOA, we gonna have some problems.
Yeah, so and it's like with so much stuff in life, the only things I can say is just ask for help.
Yeah,
It takes a community, man, but the folks that are gonna get asked have to be willing to help, and you know what I'm
yeah,
saying. Like surround yourself with people you trust and people that have your best interests at heart, and that may not be blood, that may not be, you know what I'm saying. Like it's tough. It's tough to go through this world. It's damn sure tough to go through this world alone.
yeah.
Relationships are the essence of life. So, um, I know one of my good friends, his father passed recently, and before he died, he told him he was like, with parenting, you got good intentions. You love your kids, and at the end of the day, you can't regret the day. You can't regret your actions. If all day today you whoop their ass because they weren't doing this, and doing this, you can't regret it because in
Yeah.
that moment, that's what you thought needed to be done. And if the next day you felt like, oh man, you were cuddling them too much, and you can't regret it because those you took advantage of that time, and you know what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the
No,
best
I,
I
I,
got.
I definitely get that. And it's like, I'm trying to do every day without regretting it, right? Like,
Yeah.
the hardest part for me is as I'm learning and I'm trying
Hmm.
to keep in mind what I'm reading or what I'm talking to other people about, what's
Hmm.
going to make me a better father, is not feeling bad how I reacted or how I did something yesterday.
Hmm.
So they don't want to affect me tomorrow, but
Yeah.
still be strong enough to apologize or
Hmm.
to change what it is that I
Hmm.
did. So
Hmm.
I know for me, it was just maybe a couple weeks ago. It was a long day, bro. Sometimes you just
Yeah.
have those
Yeah.
long freaking days. and the kids are just whiny for no reason, not even sick. It was just taking a lot out of me and my wife. And she had
Mhm.
finally got the twins down. It was just one of those nights where you finally get them down and you both close the door and you look at each other like, whew, like that was one. And I remember the kids just didn't want to go to sleep, bro. Like I was
Yeah.
dead tired. And they just kept getting out of bed.
Mhm.
They wanted another book, like all this stuff. And I blew up. I was like, yo, you lay down, you do here. And I don't think I used any bad words or anything. I was good there, but the
Mhm.
amount of, I don't know, aggression and frustration that I just showed at that point in time, they didn't even know where it came from. And
Mhm.
they went to sleep crying. Like,
Yeah.
and I can hear them crying in the bed, door was closed. I'm just sitting on my bed and I just like, I felt
Hurt.
so bad, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, but I don't want to go back in there right now. I was like, if I go back in there, I would love to apologize to him and like make
Mhm.
everything better. But the only reason why I didn't right then was because they were gonna wake up all over again and then want more and all that stuff. So I let them just go to
Uh-huh.
sleep crying, which probably
Mhm.
wouldn't be the best if I was speaking to some type of therapist or psychologist. But the next morning, I still remember that I felt bad and I wanted to apologize, but it got that much harder to do it, right? I was
Mhm.
like, I can make a decision to just not apologize at all, just keep on moving.
Mhm.
Or I just decide, maybe I'll change my antics and I won't ever do that again. But I needed to show myself now that
Mhm.
it's okay to apologize to your
Mhm.
kids. It's
Mhm.
okay to show them that you made a mistake. It's
Mhm.
okay to be wrong sometimes because growing up, I never got an apology from my parents, mom
Oh,
or
man.
dad. Not at
Yeah.
least that one that I remember, not one that was thick enough, nothing that could lay
Yeah.
on. And I think my parents now, even my mom, as we start uncovering and start being able to talk about some of the childhood traumas that I've been going through or that we've gone through as kids in the house
Mhm.
and traumas that my mom has gone through as just being a mom and
Mhm.
her own childhood traumas, which has been extremely freeing, like extremely freeing.
Mhm.
Um, she still has trouble apologizing
Mhm.
or even saying like this. She'll go into why it happened instead of saying, I'm sorry you felt that way. And
Mhm.
I think it's partly because she's never done it before. So I
Yeah.
want to start now getting into that groove while they're younger, because when he gets older and he starts having the words to come back to me, I'm like, boy, who you talking to?
Yeah.
And it'll
Yeah.
be harder
Yeah.
for me, you know what I'm saying? It'll be
Yeah.
harder for me to, talk about those mistakes and stuff. So I'm really just practicing, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, you're human. Like,
Yeah.
you felt a certain way, you were frustrated, they weren't listening, bam. That's. But that apology, it's accountability.
Yeah.
Accountability is, man, I know there's a lot of adults out there that don't know how to take accountability.
Well, let's
And
say
it's
that.
like I feel like I have a good understanding of it because I used to get in trouble a lot.
Nah, I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying? Like,
what you mean by a lot? I mean, it depends what you mean when you say a lot.
you know what I'm saying? They tried to accuse your boy of stealing gold,
But that was wild.
all kind of stuff. But you
Oh,
realize,
man.
like, hey, I take accountability for my actions. I apologize. Failure to use good judgment. Bam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like knowing, like you said, like knowing you messed up, knowing how to improve from it, and knowing, fool me once, shame on you type. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
let's not do it. You messed up. I think Steph has a saying. It's like, if you apologize, know what you're apologizing for, and don't let it happen again. Because if
Oh,
you
that's
let it happen again, then your apology was you didn't mean it. You know. So that accountability is tough, but that's the way to go.
oh, yeah, and it's good too that you 2 are doing it together, so you
Hmm.
also get to keep each other accountable.
Yeah.
Like, the other day, my wife checked me, we were setting up or at least talking about going to do the dad and me cookout,
Hmm.
and I was saying like, "Yo, babe, I might need to bring another friend to come help me with the boys because Avery can be a lot sometimes,
Hmm.
and I got to make sure that we got a cameraman for it, like all these different things." And she was like,
Hmm.
"Hey, babe, I want you to make sure that with all these things that you're doing for other dads, that you're also doing them
Hmm.
yourself,
Hmm.
because the last thing you need is for your son to grow up talking about how you were very intentional and invested in other relationships and fathers and their kids and
Hmm.
not present for his." I'm like,
Hmm.
I got you. I think, and at
Yeah.
first I was taken back. I was like, bro, what you talking about? I be doing this and I
Yeah.
be blah 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 blah. But he wasn't trying to be malicious, right? She wasn't trying to be
Hmm.
mean to me. Anything like that. She was just being another eyeball. It's like, hey, make sure you're keeping
Hmm.
this. in mind as well, because
Mhm.
I'm trying to help other people, but I also want to be extremely invested as well.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
It's
Look,
like,
you had a thought right there.
no, I was just gonna say, how they're like, put the oxygen mask on yourself before you worry about anybody else. It's like,
Absolutely.
but I feel like in turn too, he will see, or they will see how considerate you are, and you know what I'm saying, like, and they'll embody that, and you know what I'm saying. So I
Yeah.
think it's wonderful, Meyer. I love what you're doing, dog. It's
Oh man,
incredible.
thank
But
you.
I understand what Tiana is saying. I understand.
Yeah, because everything takes. I was gonna say everything takes time,
Everything
but no,
takes time.
everything takes time for real. So he
Yeah.
probably won't. Oh, it's my baby.
Yeah, she's out there screaming. What? I'm in the office. Yeah. I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah,
She said, oh,
bring her on in. Let Elle bring her on in.
you want to bring her in?
Yeah, for
Eleanor,
sure.
come on in here.
See, Avery, he likes the mic too much. So if I told him to come in, he'd be done grab this whole
Here,
thing.
grab.
They got like,
Yeah.
oh, bro, they got little toy mics and stuff, so they be
Come on then, pretty girl.
going ham. They love it. Hello.
Here, you want to talk?
Hi. Ooh, your hair is so. Oh, she probably can't hear me, huh?
Say hi, Uncle Meyer.
Hi.
Can you hear him? Say hi, Uncle Meyer.
Hi, Elle. She sounds so. I like your hair.
Say,
Your hair is so
I'll see you
pretty.
later.
Okay, bye.
She's cute,
Bro, her hair is so pretty, bro.
Yes, thanks. Steph just did it.
Have you tried doing it yet?
Yeah, I'm working on. I got one hairstyle I'm good at, and that's
Oh, talk to me. What
just
is it?
the two pigtails, like
Mhm.
splitting it, and then the two in the front, and then just doing the curly in the back.
Bro,
Hey,
that's beautiful,
my
dog.
fingers thick, so them rubber bands hard.
Hey, bro, I understand. Believe you, my
Yeah,
boys. I got 4 boys, and I'm thinking I'm not gonna have to do no hair, but every single one of
yeah,
my kids got nothing but hair, and they always want to
yeah,
keep it. They want to keep it growing and all that stuff. Now you got to put the glasses
yeah.
on now. Those
No,
yours or
I ain't putting these
hers?
glasses. These are her mom's.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
All right, you gonna go with your mom and let me finish working? Okay. Say, see you
All right,
later,
tell her I
Uncle
said I
Meyer.
love her. Tell her bye
He
bye.
said he loves you. Close the door for me. I'm working. Bye. See you later.
Bye, working.
Look, she closed the
Man, I
door and
wish
everything.
we need a reunion, man. We
We
need
need a
something
reunion.
like a football reunion, like
Yeah, we need
because I mean
something.
we got the academy joint, yeah, it's cool, whatever. I didn't talk to half of y'all while I was there, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like now we
You
all
gotta, you
are.
had to survive.
Yes, that's all we was doing was trying to survive.
Yeah,
We weren't thinking about
yeah,
the next part of life, no career stuff. We weren't thinking about no daddy things, none of that. We
yeah,
were thinking about surviving.
yeah. Because none of that stuff wasn't gonna happen if you got kicked out. Hey, you had to get out.
Yes, and that jump was not gonna be pretty at all.
Yeah, no.
What would you say now in being a father has changed? Ooh, how do I want to put this? I'm trying
Yeah,
to
you're
mix
stressing me out with
everything we were
this
doing.
question. Yeah,
Yeah. I know I've been throwing you hard stuff, crazy, and
yeah,
maybe I
yeah,
like
yeah.
it,
No, no, don't
but
lighten it up. Don't lighten it up. Don't lighten it up.
I don't know how to put it in there. But it's like we live like it feel like everything was hard, right? It feel like
Mm-hmm,
we were surviving, we had to get these
mm-hmm,
grades. Like that was the almost hardest part of our life. We had family traumas going on at home. Like
mm-hmm,
everything was going on at the same time. We were away from our families, not able to go back, and still we were able to succeed and finish, right?
mm-hmm.
We're able to get out. And things starting to lighten up a little bit more. But then not a but, and then we became husbands and fathers, and now we got a whole new challenge. It's no
Mm-hmm.
longer educational battles or meeting and connect with people that you have nothing in relationship, like in relating to. Like all those different challenges went away,
Yeah.
and now we got all these brand new ones.
Mm-hmm.
How have you dealt with those differently? Do you feel like you still deal with the challenges of being a husband and a father the same as the way you dealt with them while you were in college?
No, what my anxieties and stresses and coping mechanisms in college and how I went about um like completing goals and whatnot.
Yeah,
Like it was so the levels were so high in certain areas that it became like that the stribbling pace, like
ooh,
walking on stribbling as fast as we used to walk,
yeah,
and just that pace of like life, I've
mhm,
continued after the military and into like my life, my fatherhood life, and
mhm,
that's a huge portion that's made it harder.
mm,
So I had to
wow,
realize like I have to be much more intentional with my words. I have to be much more organized with my time, and I can't just like I'm gonna sprint back to my room, get a nap, put my uniform back on, sprint back to class, go into class. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like we used to just
yep,
go,
yep,
go,
just go.
go, go.
No
I'm
time
a
to process. No
no
time to
time to
process at all.
process because if you process, you lost 5 minutes. Now you late to class.
You might get stuck. You might get stuck in
Yeah,
that too.
yeah. So like now, now it's like I was moving so fast. I was moving so fast, and I wasn't thinking about stuff, and I was um like forgetting, forgetting diapers in a bag, or just like little
Yeah,
things that just made my life difficult. I was making I was making things hard for myself. So I call it I say I have bad luck. I'm born October 13th. I always say I have the worst luck, right? But I
yeah,
realized like a lot of my bad luck is self imposed, or you know what I'm saying? I do it to myself.
yeah, yeah,
So to answer the question is I had to completely change how I was doing things at the academy. Now, the difference is the good thing is when I really think about the stuff we learned there and the stuff that we had to do to tactfully just make our way through,
yep,
when I utilize that knowledge and that wisdom,
yep.
uh, man, I'm dangerous. I'm dangerous.
For
We
sure.
we we
Yeah, we
dangerous
learned
because you know what I'm
stuff.
saying.
Yeah,
It's like if you think about it, Meyer, you've been around the block. You know what I'm saying. You've spoken to some high ranking officials. You've been in some real tough situations. You've played in front of thousands of people. Like you're a wise dude. You know what I'm saying. Like, and it's like when you embrace that, but it's tough in today's society to be like, oh yeah, I'm a curly hair black dude and I'm
yeah,
wise. And it's
right.
tough to have other people acknowledge and respect that.
Mhm.
And to be like, yeah, I like anime. Yeah, I'm playing Smash Bros. But I could
Yeah,
I could I could give you some good advice on parenting too.
bro.
So it's
That
like
let's
it's
get
tough to
into
have
that
that
right
self
there.
confidence. What's up? What's up?
No, I'm saying I get into that right there. I'm loving that you're talking about the self reflection and
Mm-hmm.
valuing yourself and the
Mm-hmm.
confidence that you have when you
Mm-hmm.
realize it all. And I want you to keep
Mm-hmm.
going with that and maybe talk about how you're gonna find a way to melt that into L because I don't know that I grew up with that much affirmation and understanding that I had all those things. And even if
Mm-hmm.
I did, I felt I don't even want to call it humble. I felt more ashamed or guilty for having it,
Mm-hmm.
not even wanting to tell people either as maybe they wouldn't believe me or what. But
Mm-hmm.
I want you to stay in there right there because I think that's extremely strong.
Yeah, it's it's tough. I think a big part of it is um kind of like you don't I know growing up I didn't see a lot of us out there prominent and whatnot like that. I forget one of your shows. Somebody had mentioned Dion and his son, and like
Yeah, yeah, that was
what
my boy
Dion's
Vad.
doing, and it's like watching Dion be a confident black man, and like in the football realm, it's certain it's certain fields that white folks don't have initially respect for black and brown folks, but in football they gotta respect Dion. You gotta respect
Yeah,
prime time. You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
So it's like and he knows that, and regardless if they don't respect him, he winning, and he winning how he's gonna win, and he's
Right.
reacting how he's reacting, and it's respectful, and it's educated, and it's they don't know what to do with him,
Hmm.
and it's like once you realize like we don't have to necessarily code switch to be respected. Now, you might have to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah, I got what you
we shouldn't have to, you know what I'm saying?
agree.
So I think a big part of that confidence is not seeing men like us have that confidence and navigate the world as themselves.
Yeah,
It's tough. Um, and then it's tough to really just find yourself. Like as a grown man, like find yourself, figure out what you like. Because for so long, I know me personally, you're in survival mode. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? You trying to get out of North Carolina. I'm trying to get out of Georgia.
Mhm.
I'm trying to
Yep.
graduate. I'm trying to get through the
Trying
military.
to retire
And
my
then
mama or whatever it is, you know?
yeah, you trying to provide. Next thing you know, you're like, man, who am I? You know, I'm like, and
Absolutely.
it's definitely tough to sit back and be mindful of everything that you've accomplished, how you've accomplished it, and how to move forward.
Yeah.
So I'm still in it.
I was
I'm
about to
still
say, yeah,
deep in it.
I'm deep in it too. And
Yeah.
Ella's young, talking about
Oh
only
yeah,
being
that
two
was the
years
other part.
old. No, you good. She's only 2 years old, but there's gonna become a time where you're gonna have to start folding that into how you're raising her. In what
Hmm.
ways do you think that you're gonna be able to do that or that you wish to do that?
Yeah, that's I mean, the time is now. Like, the time is now. It's they soak up everything. They see everything you're
Yeah.
doing.
Or
You know what I'm saying?
everything.
Like every damn thing. How you react to people. So it's just I just live. Um, I wear this bracelet, this WWJD bracelet. I wear it for Steph. I'm not super religious, but to me, it's like what would Jesus do? You know, how would he live
Yeah.
right? But on other instances, it's like what would Jordan do? Not to be a little narcissistic or anything,
No,
but
no, I
it
got
reminds
you.
me like be a good person and be
Hey,
myself.
look like Jordan Drake too. So
Yeah. So like it's just knowing that they're always watching you and reacting how you would want them to react in certain situations. Like, and I'm also trying to give her the confidence. I say like, "Hey, pretty girl, how you doing?" I reward her working hard. I reward her trying, not necessarily like getting an answer right. I definitely want her to get the answers right, but
right.
if she guesses, I'm like, no, that's pretty close, but no, that's not it. Like,
Yeah.
I just want her to know it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to do this, but you know, have the confidence to stand up or ask for help to stand up. Like she's in this point now where she's like, I got it, and I'm like, it's okay to ask for help too. So it's just like I said earlier, it's just a balance. It's a balance of making sure I'm doing the right things, and I'm giving her the confidence to know that she can do the right things, and she is pretty, and she is, you know what I'm saying, like who she is, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And that's tough
Absolutely.
around like other little kids, because other little
Yeah.
kids, they got
They
other
could be
little
mean, bro.
parents, and their
Yeah.
parents may not be teaching them right.
Yeah, and other little parents
So
can get jacked up though, so they better watch out. I try
for
not to go
sure,
there, but it's we can go there, dog. It's a
yeah.
thing, but that's extremely strong that you're able to do that and that you're paying attention to it too, because for a long time, and it might even still be so right now, Azad's favorite
Hmm.
color is pink. And
Hmm.
I don't want anybody to put into his head that it's not okay for him to like what he likes.
Hmm. Yeah.
He is who he is, and he's
Hmm.
able to like what he likes. It doesn't make him anything else. It doesn't make him
Hmm.
weird. It doesn't
Hmm.
make him into whatever other person somebody wants to put an image on him. Like Azai, you are who you say you are,
Hmm.
and you're able to like whatever you like. If they don't
Hmm.
like it, that's cool because it's about what you like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So right now I'm in that molding phase. It's like if you like to watch this TV show, it's because you like it. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? If you wanna go learn how to be Spider-Man today and Mario tomorrow, we're just gonna have to go with the change, bro. Just tell me what it
Yeah.
is. Tell me how you feel and don't feel bad about it. If you say, "Hey, I understand daddy loves football, but I don't really like football that much."
Hmm.
It's okay. I just need you to
Hmm.
tell me that. We need to talk
Hmm.
about that because sometimes we get into this position where we say we don't want to push anything on our kids, but if you build such a rigorous timeline or a guideline about what's okay and what's not okay, you're going to start building something for them and they're going to start fighting back. And you're going to be
Mhm.
like, what in the world happened? Who are you? I don't even
Yeah.
know who you are. And all these different, allow them to talk to you so that you
Mhm.
can kind of decipher at least the type of person that they're turning into, because
Mhm.
each child is different and every person is different. And that's just
Mhm.
what it is.
Yeah. It's tough to it's tough because you know what can make them successful. So it's tough to
Yes.
try to be like, all right, now go over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
think you'd be better at this. You know what I'm saying? It's tough to just live vicariously through them and not, like you said, direct them. Cause like
Yeah, that
I
is hard.
never wanted to play. I didn't want to play football, but my mom was like,
Really?
you go and play football. Yeah, I didn't want to play football. I I always tell these people I wanted to be in the creative. I used to watch all that and just be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit you in the head with a fish. You remember all? I remember all that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I remember
man, I used
that,
to want to
bro.
be all that so bad. So, but I got to the Naval Academy playing football. I am who I am
Yeah.
playing football. So it's like not pushing them, like you said, but guiding them is much better than the alternative. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree. I definitely agree.
And it's hard. Like you said, it's
It's
hard. And I
hard.
think it's about exposure. Like,
Hmm.
it's about exposure, listening to them, and just kinda leaning into it, and not being afraid when it changes. Like, I
Hmm.
do I think me and Fur kinda talk about, like, what are the ages where it's important to teach them that quitting is not okay, or that it's something
Hmm.
that you don't wanna just start something and just quit. But then you
Yeah.
also have to realize when it's just not for you anymore, or they're
Hmm.
just not happy at all. Like, there's
Hmm.
different levels to it, and, I know that's something that me and him are gonna definitely talk about, but that's something that I don't know that he's at that age right now. Right now, my job is to just expose him to as
Yeah.
much as I possibly can.
Hmm.
Cartoon. When he wants to use my phones, I let him use my phone so he can start recording. His big thing right now is he just figured out
Hmm.
that slow motion is a thing. So he's
Oh yeah,
taking
yeah, that's
Hot
tight.
Wheels in the garage, he's putting everything in slow motion. And
That's
I'm like,
tight.
okay, like how can I do this? So now I'm like
Hmm.
talking to Sony. We get to talk about cinematography and
Hmm.
videography and all those different things. Like, is he a producer? Next week it might change. Like, but
Yeah.
how can I help further this so that when he looks back and is like, okay, I really like this. This is the
Hmm.
way this made me feel because I got exposed to it. He can
Hmm.
lean into that. And I think
Hmm.
as fathers, even when we had those feelings, we went more into like, okay, I need to start providing. So this is the job that I'm gonna do.
Hmm.
I don't really care what it makes me feel like because happiness is a choice.
Hmm.
I'm gonna lean into providing and protecting. And before we know it, when we start getting into a comfortable space that maybe we can start either doing something different, or maybe we get into an extremely uncomfortable place where we
Hmm.
can't do anything else but try to figure out what makes us happy. We don't even
Hmm.
know what it is. And we're
Yeah.
like, are we even allowed to go do that? Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel
Then
guilty if I leave my wife and kids, and you know what I
yep.
mean?
It's another
So
obstacle. It's another obstacle that you kind of built for yourself. It's like
yep,
your own
yep,
anxieties. No, but for the quitting thing, when I what I do with her now is um if we start a little task, like we do school for 30 minutes or an hour every morning. And I'm like, we're not quitting. Or if I'm like, yes, a couple days ago we started cleaning her room. Like, you're gonna clean your room, your stuffies go here, your stuffies go there, and it might take us, man, it might take us 48 minutes for her to clean her room. But
boy,
we not
I already
quitting.
know.
You're not gonna
Yeah,
quit. So it's like I feel like a lot of it is just like small little learning lessons that eventually will build up into the bigger point of the lesson. And I
absolutely.
and I think she's starting to get like certain parts of that now. Um what was the other part? I forgot. I got a bad memory.
I don't even
CTE
remember.
is
I'm
real.
enjoying this.
C
Yeah,
yeah, CTE is real.
it really is, dog. I sometimes just walk into a room and don't know what's going on. But
No
right now,
clue.
I'm battling on the difference between like any concussions I've had and like losing
Uh-huh.
memory, or are these past traumas? I was talking to this about my brother the other day. I was like, I've
Uh,
shut down so much stuff in my past that he'll bring it up. I'm like, bro, I don't even know what you're talking about. He was like, you were the main
uh,
character, dog. Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
about you. How don't you know what's
yeah,
going on? I'm like, bro,
yeah.
I don't even know what's happening. But as we like lighten the mood a little bit, I want to talk more about acting and hear some experiences that you and Elle have had. And in the acting part, have you gotten a chance to play a father yet?
Have I gotten a chance to play a father? Um, no. I did. I
What
did
would be
have
your
a.
go
I
ahead,
did
go
have
ahead.
a commercial. I did have a commercial audition the other week where I had to change a baby's diaper. Uh, uh,
Ooh.
and so you go into the audition room. Audition lasts 30 seconds. They're like, "Hey, change this baby's diaper," and then you're done. Oh, and you got some. You're listening to some music, and you just the baby pees on you, and then you're done. And I'm just like looking like, where is the baby? And they're like, oh no, you just got to do it in the air. So,
Bro,
because usually
what?
they give you props, they give you some type of
Right.
props, or like, if you're grilling, they'll give you some hamburgers and stuff. So I'm
Mhm.
legit in there, like, they're like action, and I'm like, I know I look like I never changed a diaper, but I want to tell them like I changed the diaper
Bro,
right
I
before I
change
came. Like,
diapers
I
every
promise.
day.
Yeah, no,
Like,
but
and you like
I haven't.
wipe, folding the wipe and everything. They're like, I don't know what he's
Yeah,
doing.
yeah,
Oh no, you
uh,
ain't got no
uh,
baby.
yeah, you ain't got no. So, no, I haven't been a father. I'm usually cast as like military, security.
Okay.
Um, um, one tough one actually. When I was just becoming a father, uh, it's on Urban Flicks. I was this guy named Bobby, and
Okay.
me and two of my friends actually like went to rape or sexually assault this girl, and it was probably one of my. It was a tough ass role. It was tough
Wow.
because when I booked it, when I did the audition, Steph, my wife usually reads the lines for me in my audition, so she's like reading the other people, and she's like, "Man, this is intense," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty intense."
Yeah.
And then I get the role, and I'm like, "Man, I gotta walk up in there, and me and these two guys have to act as if we are raping this girl, or about to rape this girl. We rip her clothes off and everything." So I'm like stressed out. I'm like, if I want to be an actor, like I want to know I can go to both spectrums. I can be really bad or really good, or like I want to have that. I want to be Jake Gyllenhaal. I want to have some range, but I'm still stressed about it. Man, I walked in the set, and I'm stressed. I got my clothes and everything, and the director, he's like, "Hey, how you doing, Bobby?" Right? And I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "All right, well, let's go get some water. We're gonna run through blocking, and here's I think her name was Kim or something." He's like, "Here's Kim. You're gonna be raping her about over there on that couch over there, and then let's go get some water real quick." And in that instance, and yeah, and the girl was like, "And don't pull my shirt too hard." And in that instance, I realized like this is a job. This is
Wow.
work. It's
Yeah.
like we understand this is the role we're playing. This is a script that's written, and that's the work.
Yeah.
So it was tough it was tough, but then once I realized like it's just a character that I'm portraying, it wasn't easy, but it was easy. You know what I'm saying? To realize
Yeah.
like it's this is my job, and I was lucky enough to book this audition, and she's comfortable with it. We're comfortable with it, so let's do it. And
That's
that was my
what's
last
up.
one. It's on Urban Flicks. It's called Ho Phase, actually. Yeah,
Whole phase. Oh
Ho
yeah.
Phase,
I have to go
HEAUX
see that.
phase. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
If okay, yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to go. Maybe we watch that
Yeah,
after the kids go down. You said I
yeah,
can't
yeah, yeah.
watch it
Watch it
during
after. Yeah, watch it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay, because this
Yeah,
not
they'll
a
be like,
hold
"What?"
down, it's whole phase.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a whole phase. It's a whole phase.
Yeah, you talked about like acting and understanding that it's just a job, right? It's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we
Mm-hmm.
all know actors that like just do it so well, and like from the other side, maybe sitting in the seat watching the movie, like that is who they are. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
like they're just doing it that well, and sometimes they might get typecasted or they're just playing the
Mm-hmm.
same role. Can you talk about maybe some of the favorite acting fathers? Maybe not fathers in real life, but they played the role of a father that might be your favorite?
Um, I think recently, have you ever seen This Is Us?
This Is Us. The one
It's
on
like
Netflix?
it's on it was on like NBC. It's got
I don't know if I've seen that
um
one. This Is Us. I know what you're talking about because there's three different Us. There's Us, the movie by
uh-huh.
Jordan Peele or whatever. Then there's
Yeah.
This Is Us. And then there's another one about like the kids who were in uh New York who they said raped a girl or whatever and they all went to jail. That's like a whole nother
Hmm.
Us movie. So tell me about
Hmm.
This Is Us.
Yeah, This Is Us. It's like this family, Mandy Moore and Vito Miglioma. I never can say his name right. Incredible actor. Um, they have three babies. Two of them pass away, so they adopt. No, one of them passes away, so they adopt a black kid named Randall. So they're raising triplets. One of them being black. So they're just like the whole entire show. Man, I can't believe you've never seen it.
I'm gonna have
It's
to
a
watch it now. I trust your recommendation. We
It's
usually
long.
be on the
It's
same
long,
way.
but it's like it had
Oh,
me. I was in there crying, happy.
wow.
Man,
Wow.
it's one of them. It's one of
Okay.
them. But it's like you watch each father like be vulnerable and go through fatherhood in different ways. Like Randall, one of the black character, he goes through being a father raised by a white man, fathering all black girls, and Jack, the main father, he ends up. I don't want to give too much away, but
No, I got
something happens, and it shows like the seeds he planted as a father and how they grow when his kids are adults. Man, the show is incredible. But I guess that's one. Another one that kind of rings my bell is I Am Sam. You ever seen I Am Sam?
that sounded nasty. Oh,
Yeah, ring my bell. This one ringing my bell. I'm
but
trying to
I
ring
Am
somebody.
Sam.
Yeah, I Am Sam.
I just heard
You
the
know I
end
could
of
be.
that.
I'm trying not to be super childish.
They're not ready for that. We do need to get back on here and be
Yeah,
that. We trying to make sure
yeah,
people get some keys and stuff today.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
they caught us back in the day at the academy at the lunch table, like a chow hall
yeah,
during dinner time, bro. Be a
yeah.
whole nother
Yeah, it'd
conversation,
be a
dog. They
whole
don't know.
other conversation. Yeah,
But tell me
but
about what is it? I Am.
yeah, I Am Sam. Sean Penn and his daughter's Dakota Fanning, and he's
Okay.
special needs. Man, it's a powerful one too. And
Okay.
he fights the courts for his daughter. It's a great movie, and I like that movie because it's like he has special needs, but his he was able to teach his daughter so much. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go watch it.
Say
I gotta think
less,
of one you've
bro.
seen. I gotta think of one you've seen.
I know. Look, well, at least we'll say that's two that I'm gonna go see from like
Yeah.
an acting father. Give me one actor who's a father
Hmm.
in real life that you might see either
Hmm.
as a model or
Hmm.
perceived to like really do it well
Definitely
in the
Denzel.
real life father in role. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
talk to me
definitely
about that. Like,
Denzel.
why does he inspire you?
I um like watching his son because his son used to play football.
I didn't
His
know
son
that.
played football, huh?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, his son played football for a while. I think I feel like he had some chances to go to the league, but wasn't that great. And then I don't know what he started on before Ballers, but he jumped on Ballers. But anyway, watching, not seeing much. You don't see much of Denzel. You don't see much of
Yeah,
Denzel in the tabloids. You don't see much of Denzel on social. I don't even think he has social media.
probably
But
not.
to know like you're Denzel Washington and your son, if your dad was Denzel, you know how stressed you would be like to try
Oh,
to go into
for
acting.
what?
Like, man, you
Yeah.
Denzel son,
And
like
you
let
ain't
you
doing
mess
what?
up a
That's like being
scene.
Michael Jordan. That's like being Michael
Yeah,
Jordan's son and not playing basketball. You know what I mean?
yeah. And look at where Mike's son is. So
We talk about that another
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So
Ooh,
to see Denzel like take absorb the I don't know how you say famousness or just the aura or just the caliber that he has, and then to see his children or his son still like following his footsteps. Like he tried football and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna act. And to be a good actor, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's humbling to know like you don't need Denzel didn't need all that attention, or like Will Smith. You see his son in everything, and it's just to hear Denzel speak and how confident he is, and how private he is in his family, and he's super religious. He's inspiring, to see what he's done and how he's kept his family together despite so much fame and so much work,
Mhm.
and yeah,
I mean,
Denzel would
and
be the
for
one.
so long too, it can't be.
Yeah.
It definitely can't be easy in the role that he's in, and he has to probably be
Hmm.
extremely intentional about
Hmm.
everything if he wants to make family a priority and
Hmm.
his wife, house like a priority. It can't be easy. And what's cool too is that he's played one of my favorite father roles. At least talking about a strong
Oh,
monologue was. I'm a huge fan of August Wilson, and
August
to
Wilson.
see
Yeah.
to see that play be redone, and I know he's doing more, and to just
Hmm.
hear him embody that,
Hmm.
man, that was such a powerful scene. And I gotta probably go back and watch that. I'm gonna put those other two on my list too. Before we
Yeah.
get out of here, there's one thing that I always love hearing from you is just stories. And I hate to put you on blast or anything like that,
Yeah.
but I want to hear, if you could, give me an experience or a time or a story, maybe just you and Elle, or just Elle, that just gives us a little bit of her personality.
Um, I'll give a little story. So I take her to the park a lot. So we ride our bike to the park a lot. And a couple of months ago, I got IBS, Meyer. I got stomach issues, and
I got it too. I
uh,
went and got diagnosed, dog. I got it too. So I'm with you.
hey, yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's real. You better get on that Miralax. So we was at the park. We was at the park, and she's playing. You know what I'm saying? And there's a basketball court right next to it. So I'm hooping and whatnot, and my stomach hits me a little bit.
Mm.
And she's playing hard. She's got her park friends there, and I was like, Eleanor, we need to go. We got to go. And she's like, no, Dada. And I'm like, Eleanor, and I kind of double over, and it happens. I kind of
Oh,
yeah, I shitted on myself a little bit, and she comes over, and she was like, she comes over because she's seen me, and she's like, are you okay, Dada? And I'm like, no, I'm not okay. We need to go. And then
Daddy's not okay.
yeah. She was like, no, no, we don't need to go. And I was like, no, we need to go. And I was like, and then I guess she smelled it because she was like, did you poo poo, Dada? And I was like, yes, I poo poo. So I had took the stroller that day. Luckily, I didn't take the bike. So put it in the
Oh,
stroller. Put it in a stroller. I just told this story the other day. I'm like sliding my feet all the way home. You know what I'm saying? But like,
oh man.
it's times like that. It's like she's so concerned about me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And she listens so well because she didn't want to leave. Like she wanted to play.
No, I feel you.
So that's the first thing I could think of. Yeah, I love being around her,
Oh, bro.
and I
If you
did
had to
do it on
title
myself.
that story, what would you call that story?
Shit happens at the park.
I thought that
Yeah,
was so good. Bro,
yeah,
I
shit happens
love
at the
you.
park.
Thank you for doing this with me, man.
Yeah,
We're gonna probably have to definitely get back together because this went by fast and it always
yeah.
does. If anything, tell the people how they can find you, man.
You can find me. What is it? The official Jordan Drake at the official Jordan Drake on Instagram. I just dropped my production company, Bad Luck Productions, so you can follow Bad Luck Productions on Instagram. Um, yeah, follow that. Got a couple
Easy
books
day.
coming out. I got Unconditional Luck that I'm writing. Oh man, I got to get your book,
Ooh.
Meyer. I got to get
Hey,
y'all's
bro, we
new
gonna
book.
keep going
But
back and forth. You inspired me
yeah, we're gonna
writing that
keep going
first.
back and forth.
Still
So
got that.
yeah,
So unconditional luck.
yeah.
What else you
I
got?
think I'm gonna drop that sometime next year. I'm gonna get some Bad Luck Productions merchandise. I got a bunch of stuff coming. But right now I'm just focused on the auditions. So, but
Okay.
but Myer, I love you, dog. I love this
love you too, man.
podcast. I'm ready to come back. Sony, I appreciate you. Thank you.
For sure, brother.
Yeah, I heard you that time.
I was about to say, look, you can hear Sony. Well,
Yeah.
awesome, man. Thank you. Like I said, thank you again for doing this. And I can't wait to get back together again. Here for the Dads.
Sure.
Out. Thank you for watching. You just listened to Here for the Dads podcast with Myer Krah. I am so grateful that you're here. But if you're new to this space, what I need you to do is slow down and subscribe, share, review, or rate. Whatever you can to help me out, because I'm on a journey to create a space for existing fathers and new fathers that's going to allow them to be a little bit more confident and a little bit more efficient at what they're doing.